Show. I'm your host today, Seth Lawrence. The morning show streams live to Facebook Live and YouTube, and it's brought to you by Peterson Insurance, your Pekin Insurance agent in Clinton. On the phone with us in this segment is Julianna Nordman. She is the co-director of the Atlanta Public Library. Julianna, how are you this morning?
I'm doing pretty well. How are you?
I'm good. I got to be honest. I could go for, if we had like 60 degrees yesterday, I could go for 60 degrees again today instead of, 10 degrees. But I don't know. I guess beggars can't be choosers, can they?
Yeah, no, I completely agree. I woke up yesterday morning and I was like, 50 degrees, this is beautiful weather. And then I came home late last night after work and I was like, what do you mean it is 10 degrees now?
Exactly. So. Yeah, my wife was telling me she went to the gym last night. It was 35 degrees. She got out of the gym. It was 25 degrees. She literally had to run up the road to the grocery store. She got out and it was 20 degrees. So yeah, it was a rapid decline in temperatures. But things that are not rapidly declining, Julianna, is activity at the Warner, excuse me. Freudian slip there. Sorry about that. But at the Atlanta Public Library is the activity level. You guys have a lot going on. And let's start with a grant that you're very excited about. Tell us about this grant that you've received.
Yeah, so the American Library Association had a grant that was due in December. We applied for it, and we are one of the only 200 of the libraries in the entire country that received this grant. So this grant is a hefty grant. It's for $10,000. And it's essentially to boost humanities programming and anything to do with humanities after COVID. So a lot of libraries got hit hard. We were one of them, and it just happened to work out. So I am really excited about it.
Awesome. So what are your plans for this grant? What more specifically than just kind of humanities? What are you hoping to do with it?
So part of it, I'm hoping to double or triple our size of the amount of documentaries we have. We don't have a ton, which I think, there's some really, really great documentaries out there that we don't have available for checkout. Mm-hmm. So I'm hoping to do that. And then I'm also going to start a new programming about, it's called, I'm going to call it Cooking with Traditions. And essentially, I'm going to bring in different people with different backgrounds and stuff to teach how to make a different food from their culture. So I've already talked to Whitney Ortiz. She's the tourism development director for Atlanta. She comes in sometimes too, and she is going to teach some different types of food and kind of talk about different cultures and everything like that. So it's never been done before. I think it'll be super fun. I'm very excited about it because I've wanted to do cooking classes. I think it's a great idea for adult programs. And then we also are going to do some speakers and authors and everything like that coming in and talking to us about history, talking to us about Route 66, Atlanta, even, Logan County, anything like that. So
That's awesome. That's going to be a really great opportunity. How much of what you had planned did you have to put into the application for this grant? I mean, $10,000, you mentioned it was a pretty competitive grant. How much did they want to know about, where you wanted to direct that funding if you were to receive it?
Oh, I had to be very specific. And I can't really, my boss is like, well, why don't we do stuff for the museum? And I'm like, I can't. So I'd be very specific in what I wanted to use, and now I can't really use it for anything else. But I'm still very excited about it. I think it's going to be a great opportunity to show that, we're finally recovering from COVID. And yes, we do things other than just the typical kid programming that we've been doing.
That's great. That's great. A lot of people are probably going to really enjoy those things. And I would imagine kind of the one of the, I don't want to say repercussions, but one of the byproducts of expanding, some of these opportunities that you're talking about, Julianna, is getting more people into the library, getting more people familiar with what you have and bringing them back, over and over again. How about that aspect of this?
Yeah, that's absolutely true. It's very hard for us because our community is a lot of the older population, so they might not have, be very good with technology, or they might not have social media, which is a lot of what we use to get the word out. And then we have a lot of new families in Atlanta and the surrounding area because of COVID, because, the Olympia School District didn't shut down with COVID. So a lot of families moved so that their kids could still have in-person learning. And so it's all about getting the word out there. And I think once we start the process of that, we'll see much more people come in. We've had a lot of people come in recently and get new library cards and renew their old ones. And our kid programming, we have a lot more attendance than we did before COVID. So it's a process.
Everything's looking on the up and up, it sounds like.
Yes, it is. Yesterday morning, we had about 15 people come in within 2 hours, which is a lot more than usual, but it's working out so far.
What did I miss about the grant, Julianna, you want to talk about with it?
I'm just really excited for it. We haven't really posted anything about it quite yet. We have a lot going on, but to stay tuned. I'm very excited about these cooking classes. I think they'll be a great opportunity to learn different cultures, even for myself and anyone else that's in town. So it's going to be very exclusive, obviously. So pay very, very close attention so that you can sign up when that time comes.
One thing I'm curious about is, as you were talking there, I was thinking about this, for the grant, you talked about adding more documentaries and those sorts of things. Obviously, those are going to stick around and be a part of your collection going forward. But, how much of this is going to boost perhaps programming that you can maintain and continue to do going forward? Had you thought about that, or was that at all a part of the process of applying for the grant?
Yeah, so actually I have been thinking about doing more adult programs, and a lot of what people have been suggesting have been stuff with cooking and stuff like that. So I had been thinking about that. However, if you get 10 people in a program about cooking, you need a lot of things to buy. And it's a very huge expense at the start. However, after that, you're just going to be really buying the food. But so I've been kind of looking as to how I could get stuff to maintain and to, do further cooking classes and stuff like that. And I think this is a great, time for that. And also with bringing in speakers and authors and stuff like that, it's a great resource for us. If they come out and things do super well, hopefully they'd want to come out again, or when they write a new book, maybe they'll come out again on a book tour and stuff like that. So like I said, it's all about getting our name out there and so people can see us and understand what we're doing and hopefully want to come back.
That's fantastic. That's great. So again, you mentioned for folks to keep tabs on the happenings with this grant and the opportunities that it's going to provide. Where's the best way for folks to do that, Julianna?
So the best way is on our Facebook, Atlanta Public Library and Museum. We also have a website, atlantapld.org. We have an Instagram, Atlanta Library Museum. So anything there, you can always call us too, 217-648-2112. We have all kinds of things going on, so take less attention.
Man, I'll tell you what, there's no shortage of ways for folks to keep tabs with these things, so be aware of all that. Julianna Nordman, co-director of the Atlanta Public Library, my guest on the phone here for this morning. Julianna, what's on the calendar? What are you looking forward to here in the rest of February and into March? What's coming up?
So for our spring break, so we're doing March 21st through the 25th, which is Monday to Friday. So we are doing all kinds of events. We're gonna make some Kool-Aid Play-Doh, which is gonna be super exciting. We'll have arcade open. We'll have some other, fun programs going on as well. And then that week actually ends with something I'm very excited about. So we are actually doing a spring break dance. So there's going to be dance lessons in the afternoon and then a dance at night where we will offer kids programming downstairs, and you can, drop your kids off and go upstairs and dance for a couple hours and come grab your kids and go home. So I'm very excited about that. So that is March 26th.
What kind of dance lessons are you going to have?
So we actually have a company called Young Dance Inc. that kind of approached us about using our space, and then we kind of went from there. So we'll have ballroom dancing, Latin dancing, and West Coast swing lessons all happening. And it'll be very exciting.
Very good. Do folks need to sign up for that? Is there a cost for this? How about those things?
So there is a cost. So it is $5 for the dance lessons, and then there's just $20 for the dance. However, we are also using this as a way to raise money for the Humane Society of Logan County. So we want to work really well with them, and we love them so much. So we wanted to give some of the proceeds away to them. So that's just the cost of it. You don't need to sign up beforehand. It's kind of you show up. If you want to learn the dances, you can. If you just want to come to the dance, that's cool too. So it'll be super fun.
Julianna, with these programs and these opportunities, do you have to live in Atlanta or the Atlanta Library District to be a part of those?
Oh, absolutely not. I don't even live in Atlanta. I live in Bloomington. So we kind of offer essentially anyone in the area to come and, hang out with us and enjoy the time. We have people from the other Olympia school district that come. Last night we had an event at the library. A Girl Scout troop leader actually came, and we had a kid from Mioneer that came. So really, it just kind of depends. You can come from wherever, as long as you're willing to make the drive. I'm sure you'll have fun with us.
Sure. Very good. So a lot of good things going on. Anything on the dance lessons, that event, spring break, anything in there, Julianna, you wanted to put out there before we take a break this morning?
I just want you guys to stay updated on our stuff. So go on our Facebook. We posted all of the information about our dance lessons and all of the other spring break stuff. It'll be super fun. We're hoping to get more adults out, and it'll be great. Very
good. Julianna, let's take a time out, come back with some more. Julianna Nordman is the co-director of the Atlanta Public Library, our guest on the phone, and the WHOW Morning Show streams live to Facebook Live and YouTube, and it's brought to you by Peterson Insurance, your Pekin Insurance agent in Clinton. Again, more to come with Julianna Nordman, co-director of the Atlanta Public Library on the WHOW Morning Show.
Let's check the opening numbers now at the Chicago Board of Trade on this Wednesday. I'm Jim Taylor for the RFD Radio Network. Corn starting the day a bit lower, beans higher, and wheat slightly higher. March corn 672 down 2 3/4. May corn down 1 3/4, 670 3/4. December corn starting today 605 1/4 down half a penny. March beans up 16 to begin this Wednesday, 1651. May beans up 13 3/4. 1648 3/4. November beans 1479 1/2, up 6 1/4. March wheat 848 1/4, up 4. May wheat up 3 3/4, 856 1/4. July wheat starting today 850 3/4, up 3 1/4. March bean meal 458.30, up 460. And March bean oil opening 71.10. That's up 95 cents. Look at the opening numbers at the Chicago Board of Trade on this Wednesday morning. Jim Taylor, RFD Radio Network.
New trucks and SUVs are coming here at Baum Chevrolet Buick in Clinton. This is Scott Baum. Yes, we have new inventory arriving, and you can see what will arrive right on our website. Just click on the pre-order and reserve tab. From there, you will find vehicles in transit and vehicles in production. Or just call our sales staff and we'll help. Find Silverados, Equinoxes, Blazers, including Tahoes and Suburbans, as well as our complete Buick line of SUVs. BaumChevyBuick.com, right from the start.
Here's a supply chain update from Dave Jackson, owner of your Clinton Save-A-Lot. As a local store owner, I've learned many lessons from the last 2 years, from keeping my shelf stocked for you to selecting the freshest meat and produce and other items you buy every day. I want you to know that we've utilized our off-site storage facilities to beef up our inventory levels to avoid running out of items you buy. While there's no playbook for what we've all experienced, you have my personal commitment to keep our shelves stocked every day. Your Clinton Save-A-Lot appreciates your business, and we hope to see you soon.
Tell Amazon Alexa, play WHOW Radio to hear the morning show and all our programming right there on your Amazon Echo.
Once again, a good morning. Thanks for being with us. I'm your host today, Seth Lawrence. My guest on the phone, Julianna Nordman. She is the co-director of the Atlanta Public Library. And Julianna, we were catching up in the break there about the restaurant that the library actually owns. This is kind of a unique venture that the Atlanta Public Library has. Tell us what's going on, what this is all about, and some of the latest happenings with looking for perhaps some ownership of the or management, I should say, of the restaurant. How about that?
Yeah, so the Palms Girl Cafe has been open since the 1930s, and I can't remember the exact year, but essentially the library became ownership of the building and the cafe itself. So it was, running and operating before COVID. Unfortunately, with COVID, we had tourists that weren't coming in anymore, so that it didn't make sense for us to stay open. So it closed. But now we are looking for applications again to open it. So it's a very, very great opportunity for anyone that has any restaurant experience or wants to open a restaurant that's directly on Route 66. You look out the window and you're standing on Route 66. So it's a great, it's a turnkey operation. So it's fully equipped and essentially only requires a new manager, a supply of food, and then staff to operate it. It seats 47 people in the main dining area and 60 in the back room. So you're looking at just over 100 people can fit in there. The rent is only $400, and the library acts as the landlord of the property. And it runs usually more during the summer. However, you can keep it open all year long if that's what you decide. It really is kind of up to you. But it's a really, really great opportunity. I know that tourists do love to come in and see it. It used to be a Greyhound bus stop, and it's beautiful inside. It's a historic building. Everything looks the same as it did from the 30s, and it is just beautiful. So if you want to open a restaurant, absolutely apply.
For sure. So you mentioned that this has been something that's been kind of ongoing. What are some of the challenges that have stood in the way of opening this? And I'm kind of curious, has the economic times and the hardships that we find ourselves in right now, has that been a deterrent at all?
So absolutely. So like I pointed out with COVID, because of that, we didn't get tourists in. So we were kind of losing money. Or they were losing, the managers were losing money. So, closed. And now it's getting really hard for us to open because at this time, a lot of people, if they do want to open it, they can't really find staff for it. So we do actually have a restaurant in Atlanta that was looking to open it and was excited about opening it, but just finding the staff to run it is too much of a challenge for them at this point.
Yeah. What are you looking for in a manager? I mean, do you want them to have restaurant experience? What types of things are you hoping for in a manager or like a management operation?
Yeah. So restaurant experience is obviously preferred because we want to make sure that you know what you're doing, but sometimes people don't have that. So if you have cooking experience and you love to cook and you are ready for that, that's also a great plus. If you are reliable, we are for sure looking for someone that is reliable, because we had things and then they kind of fell through a couple times. So reliability is huge for us. Responsibility, anything like that. Anyone that has the love for it as much as we do is also very important to us because we do love the building a lot and we love the Palms. It's a beautiful building. So.
Sure. Well, what did I miss in that conversation, Julianna? Anything that you want to put out there we didn't touch on?
So essentially, if you do want to submit a business plan and proposal, so you have to submit it before March 30th. And then we'll kind of go over them, or the board will go over them and kind of look at what what the pluses and minuses of each one and reach out from there. So if you want to, reach out to someone, you can mail us something at our P.O. Box 568 in Atlanta. You can reach out to our president. His email is apldreyer, DREYER @gmail. You can also call him at 217-737-9016. You can tour the building, just call him, email him. You can also email us too if you have any questions, and we can kind of direct you in the right way. So stuff like that. So we're really, really just looking for the right person to open this.
Wonderful. So keep those things in mind and those contacts in mind if that's something you're interested in. As we wrap things up with Julianna Nordman, she's the co-director of the Atlanta Public Library. And again, the WHOW Morning Show streams live to Facebook Live and YouTube, and it's brought to you by Peterson Insurance, your Pekin Insurance agent in Clinton. Julianna, about 2 minutes with you here. Let's talk a little summer reading club. We've had had 2 snowstorms in the last 3 weeks, and we've got some more snow coming our way again later this week. But never too early to start talking summer. What's on the back burner as it relates to summer reading club? What are you guys working on?
So for summer reading, what we are going to do is we're going to do Saturdays, every Saturday in June and July. We might skip one in July. We haven't quite decided yet, but essentially we want to encourage kids to read. It's going to be no cost. So we are a nonprofit, and we want to make sure that we are accessible to any child that wants to come. It'll be super fun. We'll have a ton of fun activities. I don't really want to spoil any of it because we got some really, really cool stuff planned, but you absolutely should come. Anyone in the area is welcome to come. It'll be super fun. So we'll start taking registers kind of soon, probably at the end of March, beginning of April, just kind of to see what it looks like. We'll be talking more about it later, but it's very exciting for us.
What kind of planning are you doing at this point in time? I mean, is it lining up events? Is there, special guests you work on right now, or are things pretty well in place? It's just a matter of, dotting the I's and crossing the T's and putting the information out. Where do you stand with things at this point?
So I have a lot of summer camp experience. I've worked, a summer camp at the Bloomington Normal Y. So I have tons of really, really fun ideas. So essentially each week is going to be a different theme that kind of overarches our theme for the summer. So the theme for the summer actually coincides with the Illinois theme for the summer, and it's called Beyond the Beaten Path. So a lot of it is going to be focused on, camping and things to do while camping and survivalist stuff, learning how to tie knots.
Mm-hmm.
We're thinking about maybe doing camouflage. We're thinking about getting a zoo in there and bringing us animals and stuff like that.
Yeah,
so,
I don't mean to cut you off, Julianna. I have to let you go. Julianna Nordman, co-director of the Atlanta Public Library, my guest on the phone. Network